Glad you've made time to join us this morning here on TV3. Good morning. Welcome to the morning news. My name is Godwin Asidaba. Let's take a look at the headlines. Coming up, Labour consultant says the National Labour Commission has no focus in summoning organised labour over the October 10 strike over Galamsey. Meanwhile, group known as Concerned Citizens of Ghana to start their 3-day demonstration over Galamsey menace today. Attorney General Godfrey Yeboah-Dame calls for swift completion of investigations into Democracy Hub protesters in custody for alleged infractions to enable the discharge of innocent persons. We begin from Labour. The National Labour Commission is to summon organised labour on its intention to strike. According to the NLC, it will meet Labour before October 10, 2024. Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Asamoah, spoke with our Labour Affairs correspondent, Daniel Opoku, in Accra.
24 hours after organised labour declared strike, government is here to engage the leadership to prevent the strike. Labour has intended to strike, demanding that government bans all activities of small-scale mining and Galamsey. The National Labour Commission has intervened to engage Labour and government to forestall the strike. The Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ofosu Asamoah, says the Commission will invite aggrieved parties before October 10.
We expect them, but we are not waiting. That is why I'm saying that the commissioners went on recess. Today is their first day of convening, and it's one of the things that they are going to consider. Because if we have to wait till the 10th day and they don't write to us and they go on strike, what happens? Yes, then that will, yes, it will be late for us to have made any proper intervention, because at least if the union should strike for one day, that's a great loss to government and to everybody.
Ofosu Asamoah was also concerned about how illegal mining has destroyed water bodies and forest lands. He criticized the chiefs and other community leaders for allowing the illegal mining to fester. He was of the view that a discussion between government and organised labour before the Labour Commission will address the problem.
It is not when people want to blame politicians, government politicians. Politicians, they sit in the ministries here. But the villages where it's going on, the farmland don't people go to farm? Don't they see their lands being destroyed? Don't they see when the excavators move from Accra to Kede, tell me how many police checkpoints you will see, and where are the excavators? Do they ask questions? The police, the several barriers. When you cross here, you go to Aduajiri, there is one, in Sawam, Adeso, Asamankesi, there are about 4. Before you get to Kedi and all that, you see them all on the road. Do they question where the excavators are going?
Meanwhile, Labour consultant Austin Game say the invitation by the National Labour Commission to hold discussions with organised labour will not charge for much. He adds that the Commission does not have any locus to negotiate a reversal of the decision by the labour unions.
Commission do not have a locus in this matter. They don't have a mandate. They are not supposed to be dealing with matters which is a preserve of the presidency and or cabinet. This is not a decision that they can take. And therefore, I think it's a misplaced priority they are trying to impose upon themselves. So you can just ignore it because it won't work. They don't have a mandate. They cannot direct. Labour Commission cannot direct the president to ban illegal mining and so forth and so on. I agree with him that the devastation of the strike action will be quite telling on the nation. That I agree. And that is the reason why we have elected a president. He is to make a decision and a determination in this matter, and not the National Labour Commission. This is not about salary increments.
A group calling itself Concerned Citizens of Ghana says all are set for their 3-day street protest against the arrest and detention of Democracy Hub protesters. The 3-day protest is also aimed at calling on the government to declare a state of emergency against Galamsey.
Notify the police. We've written to them. We had a meeting with them. They took us through the routes, literally drove us through the entire route so that they are aware where we are going. And you notice this evening they have put out an official statement announcing to the general public that there is going to be a demonstration. These are the routes that we'll be using. So it's a way of informing the public that these are the routes we'll be taking. Let people be informed. And they've outlined their role as the police and also outlined the role of organizers for the protest.
So solid.
Yes.
Finished.
Yes.
The numbers are looking at.
So we are looking at over 3,000, and we hope for more people to join. Really, the more the number, the clearer the message that will be sent to the government.
Simply put, what's the main call for these protests?
The main call for the protest is for Galamsey to stop now. For Galamsey to stop now. Second, for our brothers and sisters who have been arrested to be freed. The way they are being treated is unfair, unjust, and that is not the way to go. Their crime is for speaking up against Galamsey, so we are asking for them to be freed. That is it.
For Galamsey to stop now indeed, and trust us here at TV3 to bring you up to speed when the protest begins. The Attorney General Godfrey Adame has called for a swift completion of investigations into Democracy Hub protesters under prosecution to enable the discharge of innocent persons. The AG noted that the legitimacy of concerns raised during the protest must not infringe on the rights of freedom of movement or safety of security officers. My colleague Lorde Duasare has more.
In his address, the Attorney General Godfrey Adame highlighted that over 140 cases involving 850 accused persons in illegal mining cases in courts across the country were yet to be concluded due to the slow pace of justice. He prayed the Chief Justice to help resolve the situation.
Right. We are in urgent national crisis, and all citizens and institutions with any form of role to play must be called upon to act. Your leadership, I therefore respectfully call on you to direct all judges sitting on Galamsey cases to conclude the cases, the hearing of which has started within 1 month from the commencement of the legal year on 10th October 2024. Reasonably, it can be done.
Citing the issue of Democracy Hub protesters charged for misdemeanors during the 3-day protest, Godfrey Adame warned that persons who breached the peace and exceeded the limits of free expression will face the rigors of the law. He also urged the police to expedite the investigations and release protesters who are innocent.
There are attempts to create tensions and instill fear into people through demonstrations, which in some cases are a ruse for mounting an attack on the security forces for our nation and disrupting the running of essential services, essential public services. This, with the greatest respect, is not countenance in any democracy. I urge the police service to swiftly conclude investigations by the next agenda date of the cases involving the prosecution of SSs for recent protests in Accra, so as to exclude by that date all those against whom sufficient evidence cannot be found to proceed further. I also advise the prosecution to consider relevant bail applications at the next agenda date of the cases.
Responding to the AG's appeal, Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu indicated that the prosecution had to shoulder the blame for the delays. She, however, cautioned judges against needless adjournments.
The Office of the Chief Justice receives petitions about delays through unending adjournments of cases. I wish to implore judges to do away completely with the model of fixing cases, quote, for mention, unquote. No matter how tall a cause list is, my sincere view is that with the inclusion of witness statements as a necessary part of the trial process in both civil and criminal cases, there's no need for a court to adjourn a case after the case management conferences for mention. On the issue of delays in Galamsey cases, the Attorney General will acknowledge that our engagements have shown that the delays often come from the work of prosecutors.
Themed improving the security and welfare of the judiciary for effective justice delivery, The annual conference of the Association of Magistrates and Judges serves as a precedent to the new legal year. Lord Idwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
We focus on health now. It is the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men in Ghana, with 1 out of every 3 men 40 years and above being at risk. Limited awareness and high cost of treatment continues to affect prostate cancer care in Ghana. Stakeholders at a maiden National Prostate Cancer Dialogue reiterated the need for treatment to be captured on the National Health Insurance Scheme to reduce the cost burden on patients.
Prostate cancer can occur in any man aged 40 years and above, but factors such as age, family history and race influence one's chances of developing the condition. In 2022, Ghana recorded 27,000 new cancer cases, out of which more than 2,300 were prostate cancer. Data also suggests that only 20% of men over 40 have had a prostate cancer screening, while 60% of cases are often presented at advanced stages. Although Ghana is classified as one of the countries with the highest incidence rate of prostate cancer in West Africa, national health policies do not prioritize prostate cancer, and the challenges hindering progress in prostate care are significant. There are less than 100 urology specialists in the country, influencing treatment gaps at the district and regional level.
You remember in 2005, the 3 urologists who died. Yes, we're only about 14 urologists in this country. Now we are approaching 80. So the training is ongoing, but it can be faster. The patients to operate on, they are there. They are numerous. Our challenge has always been the theater space, anesthesia, and sometimes nursing. Putting a finger in your rectum to feel the back of your prostate is very important. Some men don't like it, but you see, that one requires only gloves and Vaseline. Instead of doing the MRI, sometimes when we discuss with the patients that should we do the rectal examination on you, and he finds it uncomfortable, we won't push it. We will just request for the MRI for you, which is about 3,000 Ghana cedis.
Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Patrick Kuma Abuaji, highlighted the urgent need for strengthened measures to address these gaps in care.
Clearly, this is a preventable condition. If you screen early and detect early and you're able to contain it before it gets there. So the key challenge for us is that how do we ensure that we reduce the burden by early detection and early treatment so that we don't get into people dying in their early ages. That is one. We also need to ensure that we encourage the people to make themselves available for screening.
The fight against prostate cancer requires strategies involving awareness, early detection and improved treatment.
The measles and rubella vaccination campaign has commenced in the Greater Accra region. The Greater Accra Health Directorate reports that 954,212 children are targeted for vaccination. Over the past 3 years, the country has seen a rise in measles cases across all regions, which is due to the delay in conducting the campaign. My colleague, Safwa Buahene, was with one of the vaccination teams in the Korle district, I beg your pardon, and has more in the floor report.
The day is winding down, and for some measles vaccination team in the Greater Accra, they have reached their target for the day. The news team followed up on one of the vaccination teams in the Korle district, and as at 12 noon, the team had already visited a number of schools and homes, almost reaching its target for the day.
Today has been it has been good. We didn't expect these numbers. Most of the parents weren't aware, but the school was aware, so it became a bit difficult, but then the school has agreed that we can do it. Today we have vaccinated about 120 children. As of now, we are thinking that maybe there will still be more.
We have our usual clinic today, and for today we've already seen about 93 children. We are closing at 4, so we are sure that by 4 we should hit our target for 200 a day for the static team. We have about close to about 27, 28 schools in Osu, so we've done a schedule for them. Every team is visiting about 3 schools in a day. But if they're able to be done before 4 o'clock, then it means they can visit another school before school time is over. The whole Kwale-Klote, we have a target of about 21,404. We have 5 sub-districts in Kwale-Klote. So for Osu sub-district, we are working with 5,700. So per every team, it differs. Every team has its own target for the day.
The Greater Accra Regional Director of Health Service, Dr. Akusie Jewa Owusu-Sapong, underscored the reason for the routine immunization program and campaign in Ghana.
The goal of the routine immunization program is to attain 95% coverage of MR among our children. However, Ghana's coverage for the first dose of measles-containing vaccine has been below 95% for recent years, especially in 2020 as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Some children are therefore missed with the MR vaccine, and as the number of unvaccinated children rises, the likelihood of outbreaks also increases. The country has therefore adopted regular measles mass campaign to immunize a lot of our children within a short period to prevent measles outbreaks.
Baby Danita is over 1 year old and has come with the father and grandmother for weight check.
Every month, Oba,
she was born here, so we check her weight here. This is her second vaccination. She already had her first. I knew there would be a campaign, but I didn't know when, so we were lucky to chance upon the vaccination exercise.
Fortunately,
Over 5 million children are targeted to receive vaccines due to the rising number of reported measles cases nationwide. The vaccination campaign, which began today, will run until Sunday, October 6, 2024, highlighting the need for all guardians and stakeholders to participate in this initiative to protect the lives of children. Safwa Bwahini, TV3 News, Accra.
Away from health, the quest to revolutionize agriculture to address the unemployment situation in Ghana has been echoed by stakeholders in the sector. Engaging some youth in the Ashanti region, stakeholders believe that a mechanized agriculture is key in whipping up the interest in the youth to venture into agriculture.
Culture lost its place as the #1 contributor to the country's gross domestic product due to factors including high farming costs, poor mechanization, low irrigation penetration rate, and low usage of improved seeds. This development has reduced the interest of many youth in venturing into agriculture. The National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GIMPA, and the Konrad Adenauer Stiftung are strategizing to revive and sustain the interest of the youth in agriculture. As a result, these institutions engage some agricultural students from the Kwadaso College of Agriculture and actors in small and medium-scale enterprises in agribusiness so they could contribute meaningfully to the nation's economic progress. The program director of Konrad Adenauer Stiftung, Dr. Joseph Damoy, reiterated the need for the youth to capitalize on available opportunities and resources in the agricultural sector to better themselves.
We are saying that we need to churn out entrepreneurs or agripreneurs who can create jobs for the teeming youth. And they are always talking about finances and simple agricultural machinery tools that will make agriculture very easy and simple for them. So that is what we are trying to make sure that we engage our students on. Now you know that we talk about smart agriculture, we talk about climate resilience, and all these are technologies that they will need to facilitate and also make sure that agriculture becomes very, very simple for them.
The rector of GIMPA, Professor Samuel Bonsu, urged parents to encourage their children to view agriculture as a viable sector.
I believe that there is a lot of value to being in agriculture. So as parents, if our wards and children wish to get into agriculture, I'd encourage all of us to support them, find mentors for them if we ourselves are not able to provide the necessary resources to support them. Because agriculture is the backbone of our economy, is the foundation for all of the world. And we need agriculture for all of us to survive.
This is your election command center. President Akufo-Addo has appealed to the chiefs and people of the Upper West region to give their overwhelming support to the vice president and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to break the 8.
According to the president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the ideal candidate to succeed him, considering his exceptional performance and loyalty. Addressing chiefs, traditional and religious leaders in Wa as part of his goodbye tour as president, he said the NPP's track record of development and governance should inspire confidence in the party's ability to continue transforming the country under Bawumia's leadership. He added, John Mahama can keep the number 8, but what is important to the NPP is to break the 8.
These nearly 20 years that I have been working with Muhammad Bawumia, I have not had one day, one occasion to doubt his loyalty, to doubt his commitment to our common cause. And I've come here to ask you for your support. Make Bawumia break the 8. I see that the former president is saying all kinds of things about the number 8 that he chose. And that it means he's going to win. Well, breaking the 8 and having the number 8, that's not a good sign at all. Our game is to break the 8, and you picked the 8. That is very simple.
Touching on elections and handing over power, President Akufo-Addo highlighted the importance of the elections and assured them that he would do everything possible to hand over power in peace as he received in 2017.
Everything is going to be done by my government and myself to make sure that the elections of December 7th are going to be free, fair, and transparent. Everybody with the power of the vote and the thumb will have a say in determining who will be the next president and who will be the next member of parliament in your area. As president, I cannot impose anybody on you. I don't have the power and I don't have the interest. I want the decision, just as I was elected. The next person to stand here in my shoes will also be elected by the people of Ghana.
The flag bearer of the NDC has accused government and its ruling NPP of creating fake opinion polls to hoodwink voters into believing they are winning the December elections. Polls largely have favored the former president who is tipped to win the elections. Campaigning in the northeast home region of the NPP, flag bearer Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, John Mahama say the NDC will never be complacent. A report by my colleague Kamla Kluche.
With eyes on a ball to dwindle the numbers of the NPP in the northeast region, with a well-calculated campaign plan, John Mahama first paid homage to the late Gamrana in Gambaga, whom he described as a father to his family, who assisted the Lodina Foundation to destigmatize the alleged witches and reintegrate them back into society. He then moved to the palace of the overlord of the Mamprugu traditional area, Na Abdullah Sheriga Buhagu in Gambaga Nalerugu constituency. The government has touted its scorecard on the creation of 6 new regions, but John Mahama has questioned the tacit supervision of the Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, on the projects he started geared towards improving livelihood and bringing development to the northeast region.
I don't come from here, but I realized that we needed to upgrade the status of our College of Education. And so I decided that we should build a new campus for them. I went and we started the infrastructure for the new campus of the Gambaga College of Education. I don't come from here, but I started it. And so I would have expected that when my brother took over, today when I come, that campus would have been finished. And yet look at it, it's abandoned. Just because somebody else started it.
A firm assurance, he says all 6 regions will receive priorities in health infrastructure.
You must have your own regional hospital here with all the diagnostic equipment that can cure any disease that you have. It is only when they cannot manage it that they'll send you to a teaching hospital.
He then moved to Kulugona, still in the Nalerugu Gambaga constituency, where he commissioned a 4-unit classroom block built by the Member of Parliament with an attached ICT lab. The entourage then moved to Bintri.
Ignore all those fake opinion polls. Everything indicates, and every credible institution, Economic Intelligence Unit, Fixed Solutions, Global Info Analytics, every proper credible opinion poll shows that NDC is going to win the election. But of course, we must not be complacent.
He then moved to Tinguri, Waliwale, in the Waliwale constituency.
But there are people, there's a certain party, their philosophy is that if you want political power and you have to sell your mother, go and sell your mother. When you get power, you go and buy her. That's what they say. But I won't sell my mother if I want political power, because you have only one mother. What if you sell her and you get the power you're looking for and you go and your mother is dead? You must tell the truth at all times.
The flag bearer campaigned in a Wulugu community. Komla Kluchem, TV3 News, Wulugu, Wale.
On that election command center note, that's how we end the morning news here on TV3. I am Godwin Asideba. New Day continues shortly with Roland Walker and Ashoko. Stay with us and have a good morning. Bye.